We are today live with Ankur Vaid, one of the core member of Unit Network. So, Ankur, first let's introduce yourself, like what you do currently.
Hi guys. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Just a
Is,
slight disturbance around.
is it better now? Or
That's better.
okay, great. So yeah, hi guys. I'm from India, Mumbai. I've been a non-tech startup founder for almost 15 plus years now, and I started my journey in blockchain Web3 in Jan 21. 2021. I was introduced to Bitcoin in 2011, but never bothered peeling through. I was neutral to it. I wasn't negative, but never bothered looking through and trying to understand the space until Jan 21. But I still believe we're still early, still starting off, and we have a long way to go. So, yeah, so I've been a non-tech startup founder, two, three startups myself, and currently learning about blockchain, Web3, and uh, power of unit network.
Okay, that's a great journey. Like being skeptical in 2000, back in 2011 to now, where you are on your own startup right now. So that's a great journey. So, what exactly is Web3 according to you?
Right. Web 3, we'll have to just backtrack and understand what Web 1, Web 2, and then Web 3 is, and what's the difference. Uh, Web 1, which was revolutionary at the time, was static websites, primarily ruled by institutes, corporates, and businesses. And it was a one-way dissemination of information where we were consumers of this information, and you could share information from on the internet globally. So it was revolutionary at the point, and it was primarily a desktop version with heavy servers and expensive servers at the point. Then we had web. So basically, Web 1, we were consumers, and Web 1 was read only. If you put it that way, right? You could only read information. Then came between 1999 and 2004, the evolution of Web 1 moved to Web 2, where from static websites, pages designed for information consumption and serve for expensive servers, we moved to interactive experiences and user-generated content, which gave rise to the likes of Facebook, Uber, Airbnb, Google's, and so on, which was primarily governed by mobile first. From a desktop version, we moved to a mobile first. We moved from a one-way street to a more social, interactive tool, and we had the database which was stored on the cloud, right?
Right.
So Web 2, however revolutionary was, it set up to be like a movement by people for the people. And, the internet is supposed to be something to give power to everyone. Unfortunately, it remained with a select few. The tech giants like Google's, Facebook's, Airbnb's, Amazon's. They controlled the data, they controlled the power. We were generating the content, generating the assets in Web 2, in case of Uber, in case of Amazon, and so on. But the power and the upside remained with a select few. Then
Right.
so Web 2, we became the product. From consumers, we became product, and Web 2 was we could read and we could write. So it was Web 2 was read and write. Now, what is Web 3, which is, while we're still enjoying the fruits of Web 2, and we're now seeing the first shoots and growth emerge, which is a paradigm shift in the internet. Web 3 is basically open, trustless, and permissionless networks. open. Why? Because in the Web3, the software, it's being developed open source, where all developers could participate in building, uh, uh, openly, with for the public to uh, openly see, what is being built. Trustless, because it is peer to peer. We don't need intermediaries, trusted intermediaries in the middle. We can now interact, deal, pass on information, pass value, in a decentralized manner from peer to peer. And it is permissionless because it is open to all. So we do not need someone like a Google or a Facebook or an Amazon's permission to interact with the internet or be a part of a network. It's freely open for everyone to use. So so it's basically decentralization of data, decentralization of power, decentralization of ownership from a select few to lot many like us, right? So, and it
Mm,
is how we had mobile, social, and cloud in Web 2. Web 3 is primarily edge computing, decentralized data networks, and artificial intelligence that primarily drives this whole technology. Web3 became true owners. We have the potential to become true owners of our data, of our time, of our value, right?
right.
I'll give an example of that as well. And Web3 is also, we can read, we can write, and we can execute. So that's one major difference in um, Web3. And for example, let's take an example of Uber, right? So now Uber, although it's valued at billions of dollars, right? But the true assets of Uber are the drivers. That's because
Right.
of the driver partners is why Uber is Uber, right? But the driver partners do not enjoy that valuation of that $1 billion. It's that $1 billion is enjoyed by or in the hands of a select few at top level founder and the C executives. But if Uber is built on the Web3, which it is, already it's being built on, but the tokenized economy, if you put Uber on Web3 and you tokenize Uber, and then you have a long tail of that. So a Uber driver could accept tokens as payment, and they choose to stay in that tokens. Uh, they do enjoy the $1 billion valuation that is created in proportion to the tokens they hold. So, and that is truly owned by the Uber driver. No one can take that away from them.
Right.
And tomorrow, if the Uber driver stops working with Uber, they still own that piece of the token, and for the time that they've spent driving with Uber. So that's Web3 in
That's a great explanation. Like you started from Web 1.2 and you all the way went to 3.2 to explain a layman in a layman term, simply in a layman term. So I think thanks for that information. So that will help even our audience to understand exactly what Web3 is. Even though they must have heard a lot of things, but explaining in a layman term is what all they need. So thank you on that part. So also there are a lot of concepts revolving around tokenization. Like people say, like we'll tokenize this thing, we'll tokenize that thing. So what exactly is tokenization according to you?
So it's a very new concept where uh, the concept of tokenization is basically you're digitizing your value, like real world value. You're digitizing in the form of tokens, which can be fractionalized, and it can be co-owned by multiple people. So it's basically digitization of shares, if I should simply put it in that way.
Okay, that's interesting. So what exactly do you do in Unit Foundation, and what exactly is Unit Foundation?
Sure. So a unit network is a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. It's a global community-led initiative where it's also a layer one blockchain where built on Polkadot substrate, and it's a platform where people can create and launch their own tokens without writing a line of code. So uh, it's basically, you can say, WordPress for tokenization. And our aim is to, in the next 3 to 5 years to 10 years, we have a vision that most of the businesses, individual groups, communities, on own token economies. So, we want to facilitate the alternate economy is what Unit Network is.
Okay, and that's great. So, what is your ultimate goal with respect to Unit Foundation? Like, apart from these things which you have mentioned, like, what is the end goal which you want to achieve?
So, I mean, there's no one specific end goal as such, but it's going to be an evolution. Like, it's going to completely evolve. Where, like I mentioned, that in the next 3 to 5 years, we envision that most of the businesses, most individuals could have their own tokens. Would have their own tokens, work with their own token economy. So, for example, the barber shop, the restaurant that you go to, the cinema that you go to, or the sports activities that you do. We believe that there can be a circular token economy. So you as a consumer would invest in these businesses and buy their tokens. So you're anyways going to participate by consuming their services, but you believe in their services and their products. So you would also have the opportunity to own a piece of the value, and you would be so you're not only a consumer now, you are also a promoter by default, because you're owning a small piece of that company or that product or that person. And so it's in your interest that the person, industry, or company grows, because if they grow, you grow as well with them. So, that's how we get like a circular token economy is what we see. So, how you is building this is we are building a city industry tokens where, for example, Mumbai, Dubai, Bali, London, all the major metros of the world, and major industries like sport, yoga, health, education, travel, music, art, so on and so forth. Building communities uh, uh, around these DAOs, we call it, which is decentralized organizations, and then inviting projects, individuals to come and build on top of these pre-created communities. So, and how we are bundling Unit together, we have 5 verticals that we build on. So, we host conferences twice a year. So conferences is a platform where we, like something like TEDx, where we're inviting speakers to come and talk about innovative things that they're building on, provide inspiration, bringing community together to attend and learn from the conferences. We have a ventures program, which is a 10-week incubation acceleration for people who want to come tokenize on Unit. Uh, can go through an incubation acceleration program to understand how can they create their tokens, what should their tokenomics be, how should the go-to-market strategy, the difference between Web2 marketing versus Web3 marketing, and all of that. Then we have an educational program called Unit Masters, which is a 6-week free of cost education. This is a foundational level education for anyone who wants to start off their journey in this space. That's how I started my journey, where I was a participant of Unit Masters myself. I did that twice, and that's where my learning of Web3 really began. We're still learning. It's a vast industry, and the industry is moving really fast, and every day there's something new to learn. So Unit Masters is a great starting point for anyone who wants to look deeper and understand what this space has to offer, uh, which is again free of cost. And then we have Unit University, which is not launched yet, but it's going to be like a Wikipedia for holding white papers for people who want to research in this space, and Unit News, where we'll have industry news, city, and other news and innovations that we will spread out. So.
Okay, that's a great ecosystem around built around unit. So there is also a unit token for managing or governing these ecosystem. So can you brief us about the unit token exactly?
Sure. So Unit is it's its own blockchain. So we have our own coins, and what you can do with Unit coins or tokens is you can participate in the global economy that is happening. You can
Mm.
use Unit token to invest in various industry city tokens. You can use Unit to invest in projects that are built on top, and we want to see where we get a circular token economy where businesses, individuals who come and build on Unit would accept Unit tokens as means of fundraising or as means of exchange for exchange of goods and services. On Unit, we also have a treasury mechanism. So, a Unit token can be used by someone who wants to build on Unit can use Unit tokens to lock up Unit tokens in our treasury. And with that, what happens? The floor price of the tokens that is being built keeps going up as the token economy of Unit grows. The floor price of your token grows. So it makes your project less risky. It's a little technical. Get into the details of that at this point of time.
Okay, so you talked about unit token. So
Mhm.
what is the best thing with you will say like if someone has to hold that unit token with them, and like what is the current USP or must have when they hold the particular token?
So to in basically Unit is as of now it's on its own ecosystem, which is on the Unit network. And whenever there is an investment in Unit, you can invest with crypto assets. So we call it the blue chip assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Matic, Cardano, Solana, and now we've increased the seven to top 16 coins which you can invest and purchase Unit with. So whenever there is a purchase from the bank, 90% of the funds raised gets locked into the treasury of Unit. And with that, what happens is over time, as more and more fundraising happens, the floor value of Unit will keep going up. So what happens in most of the protocols today is there is no floor price. There is no bottom, right? Like we are seeing, there is a current market sentiment is crashing. There can be protocols which can go all the way to zero. With Unit, that will never be the case. There will always be a floor price, and then there will be a speculative trading price in the exchange. So, to give you an example, I've not seen the price today after the crash, but last I checked, the floor price of Unit was 7 cents, and the speculative trading price was about $4. So, it was 13x. So any investor can see what is the floor price, what is the risk appetite, and then choose to invest in Unit.
So it's kind of uh, it's just like a stock market kind of thing where you just limit that particular
No, there's no
downfall.
limit. It's a free market. It's a free market.
Okay,
So, the demand and supply will uh, decide the price of Unit. Yeah. So
okay, got it.
yeah. It's very early for Unit. It's not even, I mean, in the very, very early stages of Unit. We have about 2,500 holders across the world.
Okay, that's great. Also, earlier you mentioned about the courses offered by Unit Foundation. So, what are the courses which are available?
So we have as of now, we have one non-technical course called Unit Masters, which is a foundational level program. It runs across 6 weeks. And so, week over week, we have the content which gets released. It's a free course. And like we have the week one, we have something like the Internet of Value. We have what is Web3. Week two, we talk about we share information about ecosystems. What are the various ecosystems in Web3? Like what is a centralized exchange? What is a decentralized exchange? What is a cold wallet? What is a hot wallet? What are the different consensus mechanisms that are there? Week three goes in deeper with what are the stakeholders in this space and so on. So by the end by the end of it, you get a holistic, uh, eagle eyes view, perspective of what Web3, what blockchain, and what tokenization is all about.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I think that will help some of our viewers who want to, get into it and study something about it. So I think that's
Sure.
great information.
You can sign up for free. The website is unitmasters.org. Um, that's UNITMASTERS.org. And you can, our next batch is starting on 29th of May.
Okay, guys, so May is your time. So you better start studying about Web3 and don't remain behind anyone else. Okay,
Absolutely. With the future.
yeah, that's good to hear about it. And so let's give a final thoughts about Unit's future plus on India's future with respect to crypto. So what do you think about those things?
Sure. So let me start with Unit, and I'll finish with India. So Unit, as a concept, we're trying to create something very new and unheard of, where we want to create the alternate token economy, uh, you know uh, uh, which over time will, we vision that will become like how websites were at one point in time. It was a privilege to own a website, right? Today, you cannot imagine leave aside a business. There are individuals who post their resumes and profiles on websites now, right? So, not having a website is like, I mean, it's not a thing. So, same way we envision that there'll be a time where anybody not being on a token economy or having their own token would be like, the same journey the website was. So, that's the vision of Unit. And in terms of India, India is perfectly poised to capitalize on this paradigm shift that Web3 brings. We have the talent, we have the infrastructure, we have the brains, have the interest from a global spectrum. But uh, it's like, let's hope the right decisions are taken, and we like not too many archaic decisions are taken. And I think education is key over here, where it comes with a lot of speculation, a lot of risk. Not educated enough. Even with the education, it is so evolving that you have to constantly learn, to invest time, a lot of energy, and definitely de-risking oneself with constant education is not only in India but globally, which will help the mass adoption of Web3, blockchain, tokenization.
Yeah, you said it well because education is the first and foremost thing which everyone needs once before they enter the industry, or even the people who are into this industry. Constantly updating themselves is as important as joining the revolution today. Okay, so thank you, Ankur, for joining us in this live stream, and we hope you good day, and we hope great success to Unit Foundation.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here, and all the best to everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.